You know, when I first started tasting wine, there was a saying that there's only 2 times to drink red wine: when you're fishing and when you're not fishing. Hi, everyone.
That sounds just about accurate, actually.
I'm John.
And I'm Rory.
And we're here to share some red wine with you today.
Which we end up drinking quite a bit of.
We do drink a little bit of red wine, yeah.
In fact, can I pour you just a little bit?
Since you're right there, that'd be awesome, yeah.
We're going to start off with the 2018 Merlot. And Dad, you know, we have actually a decent amount of ground planted to Merlot, which is maybe a little bit unusual these days.
And honestly, I think a lot of people think of Merlot as Cabernet with training wheels, right? Just a softer version of Cabernet Sauvignon. That's not the way we think of it. This is a really wonderful and distinct variety that's got so much individual character of its own, quite distinct from Cabernet Sauvignon.
Quite distinct, and a lot of that is because it grows in very distinct soils. Merlot, completely different variety, and really thrives in a different series of soils here in Rutherford. More of the clay-based soils where Cabernet doesn't do quite as well. And you know, Rutherford's this kaleidoscope of soils where we grow the majority of our grapes, and so Merlot really does well in some of these pockets.
I'm not sure people understand how small Rutherford is. It's 2 miles by 3 miles, but yet in that we're growing Sauvignon Blanc, we're growing Cabernet Sauvignon, we're growing Merlot, and a few other things.
And a few other things. We'll get to some of the weirdos here at the end.
And because it is the different soil types, and to get the best out of wine, and we're getting the best out of Merlot with this wine, this absolutely classic red fruit, plummy sort of character, and then that just succulent, beautiful, soft flavors across the palate.
And you nailed it on the head, Dad, when you talk about people often considering this Cabernet with training wheels and trying to treat it like Cabernet in the cellar, and that's something we definitely avoid doing. You know, Merlot is actually kind of difficult to make in a lot of ways.
I think it's the most difficult to grow and most difficult to make. That's why it's the most expensive red wine in the world is 100% Merlot, the Chateau Petrus. So there you go. It's tough to get it right, no doubt about it.
But we love the 18 vintage of this wine. Absolutely the perfect expression of what we love about Merlot, that red fruited plumminess.
Why would you buy Petrus?
Well, when you can buy Frog's Leap.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. But let's
I think you should point out the frog in the room here.
Our decanter here, yeah. Because we want to try the Cabernet Sauvignon now. And you can pour me a little Cabernet Sauvignon. Because we talk about red fruit with Merlot, we talk about black fruit with Cabernet Sauvignon. So here we have the currant, the cassis, the blackberries, you know, and that's my taste memory. But also Rutherford with this wine.
Yeah,
right?
And for me, the Rutherfordness of this wine comes in some of those secondary, tertiary characteristics, the herbal dried herbs, a little bit of a floral character. To me, that's what smells like home. I was raised here in Rutherford, and that's what Rutherford Cabernet smells like to me. And I think that, you know, now that I'm out in the vineyards helping to grow these grapes and, teaching you everything I know about winemaking in the cellar, keeping things rolling, then it's really wonderful to see how that kind of expression of home carries through to the bottle. And even in a year like 2017, we got the 2017 Cab here, a roller coaster kind of year, lots of curveballs thrown at us, but I think still just a beautiful, captures the essence of what we love about Cabernet.
And honestly, that's why you seek Cabernets. And also great Pinot Noirs is that they have the best ability to express terroir. That's why they're the noble varieties. And here you have it, Rutherford, also in the Merlot, but so distinct in the Cabernet Sauvignon.
You know, Dad, it's kind of funny. We Cabernet in Rutherford now is almost taken for granted, but a few years ago, it was kind of a crazy idea.
That's a perfect segue, because what's this next wine you have here?
Well, Dad, we might have to do a little bit.
You have to pour carefully in the frog. You're kind of running over the top of the frog.
I'm a pro, Dad. Don't worry about it. We've got our 18 Heritage Blend. So Heritage Blend, a blend of a bunch of different old varieties that are nearly extinct in California, and really have formed some of the winemaking or the viticultural history.
So what are the varieties in this?
So we've got Charbonneau, Carignan, Petit Syrah, Valdiguet or Napa Gamay. We have Mondouse, and even just a little bit of Riesling.
A little bit of Riesling. And remarkably, 5 of those 7 varieties were more widely planted than Cabernet Sauvignon 40 years ago.
You know, Dad, we often get asked, what is the heritage and why does it exist? For us, it's a bit of a crazy idea. I think that We have this planted.
Here's the reason we planted it. This is remarkable. How fun.
I've always believed that our heritage blend is kind of the tribute to California winemaking, to make what it means to make wine in California. It's that daring, that sense of experimentation, the freedom to make good on a crazy idea if you've got the winemaking shops and the viticultural shops.
You kind of had to talk us into this too.
Might have had to talk a few people into this wine. But we absolutely love this wine. For us, the heritage blend is a little bit on the lighter profile versus the Merlot and the Cab, but still great acidity, but still some of those darker aromas, especially the Charbonneau and the Mourvèdre in this wine.
You know what I like about this wine? You hear this term sauvage, this idea that there's kind of some wild fruits going on here. And sometimes, I love Cabernet Sauvignon, I love Merlot, don't get me wrong. But sometimes you want something that just spices it up a little bit and does something a little, or you're cooking something that demands that. Here it is.
Can I offer a bit of a strange descriptor for
Yes, please.
So for the heritage, when you go out into the vineyards in the middle of the summer here in California, it's been dry for months, but you get some of that humidity coming back just as the sun sets, and all of the grasses and all of the wild herbs that are out in the fields get aromatic very quickly. That's the smell of the heritage blend. It's this all-encompassing, very aromatic kind of wine, lower in alcohol, but still, I think, it's got the acidity and some of that tannic backbone to really stand up to any dish, and a wine that has quickly become a favorite at the winery. So,
well, here you go.
We hope you enjoy it alongside our other reds.
Classic Rutherford dust, superior substitute to Petrus, and what's this?
And the greatest red wine made from Charbonneau in Rutherford.